out there, this is Cocklaw, and we're going to be doing an ArchiCAD video with regards to sheets and placing viewports on sheets. I've had a few emails and messages asking me how I place me actual viewport and setting up the sheets themselves, so it seems a fair point, so I'll try and describe it as best I can. So here's a basic sheet you can see with two viewports on. Now I'll start right from the beginning as though I was starting a new project here. So in a view map you'd have, say, your ground floor, on your initial survey of a new build, existing build. This happens to be a model that I've drawn from a survey, and we need to place it on this sheet. Now the thing with the sheets are, if you're not familiar, the title blocks that's behind there, they're on masters. If you see in the masters, if you don't have a master setup, ArchiCAD comes with its own templates. Obviously I've made my own for my own company. I made an A3 landscape master, so you need to set that up. It can be any which way, your own style. You can probably even find templates online if you needed to. I've just made this up from scratch, and the way the text is all done on this template within the master itself, you can actually use that little tab there, the little layer with the spin in the middle when you use the text, and put auto text in. See what it says, insert auto text. You can have all this project info, project name, client, etc, etc. That's always a good idea because it keeps all your sheets automated, so you're only ever going to have to add the information once, wherever client, wherever the address is. And if you just go file, info, and then project info, you'll see it'll bring up a little box for us. Here you go, and you can input all this information there, and it'll keep all your title sheets consistent and nice easy information. You only ever have to do this once, and then it's a good idea to have like a working template, like a drawing that you start from a base, with all your pens set up, with all your masters set up, and all your line types ready to go. That's a good idea. So if you don't do that already, make sure you do that. Okay, now going back to the sheet. There's a couple of ways of getting these viewports onto the sheets themselves. Now, with regards to the layouts, just let the computer catch up. You can see on the layout book, if you right click, you can bring up the book settings. Now I label this with the project number, planning, and 0. And then when you go to the layout itself, you want to put this on automatic, so go to its layout settings and put it on automatic, and what that'll do, it'll automatically number the sheets for you. So if we put a new layout here, what should happen is the sheet, there you go, PL003. See the way it had the number ready for it, and that's all to do with getting your masters right and getting your initial start up just the way you want it, just perfect. And it'll save you a lot of time in the future. So now we need to get these viewports onto the sheets themselves. Now the base is all set up. I know you might need to flick back through those bits regarding the masters and the layouts, but there are a few ways to get these viewports onto the sheets themselves. Okay, so if we just delete this viewport off the sheet, and then what we'll do, now you go to the view map. Now what you could just do is right click on the view map and tell it to place it on a sheet, but what it'll do, it'll keep placing it on a new sheet for each viewport. So as you can see, I just dragged the ground floor onto the existing sheet, and there you go, it's on with the title block. Now that's automated because I've automatically set it to put titles on, but I'll show you how to do the titles in a minute. And also you can just drag and space the viewport to suit your sheet, makes it everything's in line and nice. Now you can set the viewports either to show that dotted line or not, so you can have a border or without a border. I'd always choose without a border to make it nice and lean and crisp. I'll just show you about where the titles are, just for reference. Oh, the machine's starting to overheat a bit. That's great, especially since we're only using ArchiCAD 12. There we go. You can just see at the very bottom there, it's titles, and there's usually a few built in. I mean, if you just click on that tab there, you can see I usually use the linear drawing title, and once again, there's a bunch of options that you can play around with. Turn the ID on and off, and I usually turn the marker off as well, and that usually gives a nice clean finish. A simple line with the name of the viewport with its scale. There we go, and it'll just load up now. And there you go, there's a basic title, and you'd neaten up your viewport. It's not really that important for me to neaten it up. It's just for reference of showing how I'd set up the sheets. Okay, so we know how to put the viewports on the sheets now. So now we need to find out how do we set up sheets for existing and proposed drawings. Now I've just flicked to the proposed of this actual project just to show you. And you see how I've got it laid out there. Plans as existing, elevations as existing, plans as proposed, and elevations as proposed. So we need to figure out how we're going to do that. Now what we need to do with this survey or existing drawing is save this now with a different name. So let's go to save as, or file, save as, and save it as a new name. Now I'm just going to call this proposed 2. And we'll be able to move on with the sheets from there. There we go, I'll just rename this proposed 2. And now what we're going to do is create new layout sheet. So right click, new layout sheet, make sure you've got the same master, and rename it plans as proposed. And you see it's updated the layout sheet automatically with the number sheet. That's what you're looking for. Repeat the process again for the elevation. So new layout, proposed elevations, make sure it's the same master. Okay, and now we've got the 4 sheets. Right, now if you go into your plans as existing, and select both the viewports, what we're going to do here is copy and paste these existing viewports onto the proposed sheets. Okay, so basically we're just wanting to copy and paste the existing sheet viewports onto the proposed. Right, so they'll be in the exact same positions. And now if you go back to the existing sheet, what we're going to do, if you select the viewport, if you see there, if you go link to, okay, so we're going to link this viewport back to the original survey drawing or existing drawing. And what this does is, so if you just find the original survey drawing, okay, there you go, survey, and just link it back. And what this does, Now when we draw in the propose or update or add an extension or modify it in any way, the proposed sheets will update, but the existing sheets will stay as they are. Now you could just turn these to manual, which means they won't update, but if there is ever any change to the survey or there was an error, or you've got some additional information when they've opened up the walls or something, then the sheets wouldn't automatically update, but this way they'll update with the existing survey if it's ever amended, which is a good thing. So there we go, that is now linked back to the existing drawing. Now, just to show you how this works, what I'll do just a quick mock-up extension. So you can see what the benefit is of actually doing this. So select the wall, draw a small extension out, 1200mm, just enough for a little utility. There we go. Change this door to an opening. Now, actually, you should make sure you should do this as well. A lot of people are just, if they want an opening, they'll just cut a hole in the wall. But if you ever need to do that on an external wall, then you'd see the opening from the outside. So you better actually place in the door as an empty opening rather than just cutting a hole in the wall. There's a little extra tip. Okay, so you see an empty opening button there at the top right in the door selection settings. If you just click that, it'll just make an opening, and you can add dash lines so you can see what's happened. There you go, and just put some wall contour lines on both sides, add them dashed. Okay, here's the proposed updating. And see, it's added that little extension on for us, and it'll do the same on the elevations. Okay, naturally it needs doors and windows, but you get the principle. It updates the layout. Now if we go to the existing sheet, you'll see, oh, it's blank at the moment because I didn't let it update before, but what we're going to do, if we update this viewport now, just highlight the viewport and make it update, you'll see it hasn't added the extension. This is a real benefit. So now you can have existing and proposed sheets, and you don't have to mess around or put any blank sheets in to keep the numbers in order. You've got it all in one file, and if you ever do need to update the existing, you go and do it in a separate drawer, and it's a real benefit. It's nice and clean and keeps everything neat and tidy and automated as much as possible, which I think is really handy. Okay, the other way I was talking about this, if you go to drawing selection settings on a viewport, you can see you can update, you could just change it to manual, but like I said, if anything did change in the previous drawing, it wouldn't update automatically. So that's personal choice. Some people actually just put it to manual anyway, because sometimes the drawings try and update when you don't want them to, especially elevations do that a lot. It can be quite annoying. Okay, so I'll just shut this down now and we'll go to the proposed. So as you can see on this proposed, I've had to change it to portrait and a different scale because of the type of job it was, and but the principles are still the same. You know, I've set up the existing sheets, created the proposed sheets, and then you copy and paste the existing viewports onto the proposed sheets. And obviously make sure you save the two different, so one saved as survey existing and then one saved for proposed to keep this separate. And that's a good principle way of doing it for me, and it keeps everything neat and tidy. And you can see that this drawing was actually done that way before it went into the council. So two sheets with existing drawings on and two proposed, and you can see the existing have remained as they was in our example drawing. And if we just click on the proposed, you can see it's got all the information on there, all the detail and what have you. It's a nice little advertisement for our company there. That's good. I hope this is a benefit to you, and you can see how things are set out and how it was done. And as you can see, the elevations were, repositioned and a detail added. But again, these are on the link to this proposed drawing, so if anything updates, these update automatically for me, and the existing sheets stay the same. I hope this video was of benefit to you. Please leave a comment and let me know what you think. And again, thanks for watching.